For Panthers Fans Only is a sports podcast intended for mature audiences and contains profanity as well as extremely spirited conversation. What you see and hear are the sole opinions and depictions of each individual, not at all inclusive of the entire cast or any guests associated with our show. Thanks for tuning in, and always remember to stand on business.
Run it. Like, I just told him to run it. Like, but this is the thing. If I wanna give an explanation, I can though.
But I don't want to hear it though. So no matter if you want to give an explanation, that don't mean I want to hear it. Did you care for his explanation?
Not at all.
Well, you were requesting something from me.
Ask the
So,
question.
I mean-
I asked one question. That question the answers could have been yes or no.
R.I.P. to all the real niggas worldwide.
Whoa.
Yeah,
whoa,
keep it
whoa.
clean, Virgin. Clean.
No,
we
no,
cleaning
no.
it up. We cleaning
No.
it.
Hey, it's gonna be a lot of profanity this episode. I'm gonna go ahead and warn because I don't understand how Ian Thomas is still on the roster. So that is gonna be. I already tweeted out. I'm gonna have a profanity-laced rant to go on. So I'm just warning y'all ahead of time. Yeah, because I don't like that. I don't like that. He's garbage. And everybody keeps telling me that he's good in run block. Dave Canales already went in his presser and said that it don't matter.
I'm telling
so
you,
stop giving
bro,
me that explanation.
You the one that hyped up a lot of these hype trains that everybody on, bro. You led the charge for all of them.
No, that's not true.
Yes, bro.
If you look at my projection, 53 man, Jordan
That was
Matthews.
before that. Before that, you was
Before
gassed
that,
up on.
but when I went to camp and I watched preseason, I seen what it was. Jordan Matthews should have made this roster.
Oh, for sure.
I don't wanna go to
We'll talk about it.
fuck.
Got a budget for a lawyer though.
Fuck. I'm on the run for the month. I'm in the bucket.
What?
Paid 200 for it. My little nigga stuck and even got me paranoid. I'm getting money, that's the nigga
Welcome.
category. Double M, I got G's out in California. I ride for my niggas, dog. I ride for my niggas.
Gonna let the song rock out. Welcome to 4 Panthers Fans Only.
I ride for my niggas. Stay scheming. Niggas tryna
Ian Thomas is not the only one that I gotta address.
And I know boy too.
TMJ, Coker.
Yeah.
I got some words for
But
y'all
yo,
about that
too.
boy.
I see no need to compete with niggas like y'all. I just
play
ask
safety.
when you see me, you speak.
Alex? Oh, Jamie.
Like you
I
never
don't know.
wanted.
Hey,
And
matter
it's
of fact, let me
feeling
chill.
like
We gonna
rap
get
shit.
to
It was
it.
a
We gonna
time
get
it was
to it.
rugged.
Back when the reached, it was for the weapon. Nowadays, it's reached just to sell
They
it.
record. Spaghetti bolognese in the lounge. Me and my G from DC, that's how I roll
Ross and
around.
Drake on a track together is insane.
But we heavy.
Nah,
They
for real.
They just had to ruin it.
It's a never miss.
No. $1 million meetings in the Polo Lounge. Me and my man Oliver North
Welcome.
roll around. Shorty wanna.
When French go, I'll intro.
I tell that bitch it's more attractive when you hold it down. Kobe about to lose 150 M's.
Ah,
Kobe, my
no
nigga,
cap.
I hate it, had to be him.
Huh.
Bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Oh, y'all. And you, okay, don't even worry about it. I see what energy y'all
So
want.
Alex Cook did get cut?
Yes.
She
Yeah.
love it. She used to soda and nuggets. She really just started thugging. I'm just hitting my pinnacle. You and
I hope y'all enjoy this part of the episode. And every single week, monetization gets stripped within the first 20 seconds of the video. So, you need to be grateful. I ain't gonna hold you. Or maybe I should just not say that, right?
Donations.
Okay. I ride for my niggas. Wall stay. I wasn't mad at your idea to intro it, but I was just like, then again, who on this roster really is making me feel that way? For them, maybe.
It won't for you.
And my energy was up through the roof. And I walked in, won't done. I really wanted to turn the game on. I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted to press that button.
We wasn't recorded today, so I mean, you picked
You
up
wouldn't have recorded. I just would have went live. It would have been no problem.
You wouldn't have went live in this.
Yes, I would.
You wouldn't have went live in this.
Welcome to 4 Panthers Fans Only. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you don't already, make sure to tap in with us on socials. For Panthers Fans Only on Instagram and TikTok. At the G2S Network on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on. Find us on DSPs also for Panthers Fans Only. Make sure to tap into the Twitter, to the X, at FPFO_podcast. That's where you need to be. If you're nowhere else except YouTube, if you want to just follow one social media platform, it needs to be X. At FPFO_podcast there. And yeah, what else? Enter the giveaway. We got 8 days, 7 days until the entry, or excuse me. 7 days. I know, bro. Just relax, bro. Just relax. 7 days until the giveaway ends. Enter that right now. Autograph football giveaway. If you're new here, you're not familiar with what's going on. Jatavion, Deontay, Bryce, XL, Shaw, Dave Canales, and is that it?
I believe so. All guys who made the roster, shout out to y'all.
Yeah, all guys that made the roster. All guys that made the roster.
Surprisingly.
Who was surprising on that?
Shaw.
I mean, come on. But yeah, enter that. You can click in the description below. You click on that, it'll bring you right to it. You get up to 6 entries, but you have to follow on all social media platforms. You have to, put your name, email address. That'll give you 1 entry. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That'll give you another one, and that'll open up every other forum where you can enter. So again, make sure to enter that right now if you haven't already. 7 days away, we will be announcing the winner next week for the winner of that, and we'll get the ball sent out as soon as the winner confirms. They'll have 48 to 72 hours to confirm that information as far as name, address, everything like that, so we can get the ball sent out. And if they don't, then we'll pick another winner like we did last time for our rookie jersey giveaway. So, yeah, that's all I got. How y'all feeling? Welcome to FPFO. I'm your host, JJ.
I'm your co-host, Terrence.
I'm your producer, Tavian.
How y'all feeling?
I feel amazing. Chill week. It's only Tuesday or Wednesday when y'all see this, but it's been a chill week so far, so I feel good. Ready for the weekend. Got a fantasy draft. Been having a lot of drafts lately.
Big one. This is the one though.
Yeah, this is the one I'm most excited about. So Friday we in the building. Can't wait for that. And college football officially starts this weekend. So put in your bets. I might got some juice for you today. I don't know. We'll see.
Shout out to Florida State. Doing all that talking about how they don't deserve to be in the ACC. Week 1, get clipped by an ACC school. One at that. But moving on, how you feeling, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling great. Football's around the corner. It's that time of year. Feel my energy level slowly picking back up until, they hang on by a thread at the end of every week. You know how it goes. I'm feeling good, though. I'm excited, ready to be back into the flow of football, ready to see these guys go out there and put on a show, the ones who are fortunate enough to still be wearing NFL uniforms. The rest of y'all, I'll see you at Enterprise when I make my travels this season.
That's so unnecessary.
Oh, I'm sorry. My fault.
All he wants
My
to do,
fault,
he
my
wants
fault,
to crack
my fault.
jokes on somebody that loses their livelihood, bro. They've been working their whole life for
Man
this
been
moment,
throwing
bro.
shade at the who didn't make the team
Yeah.
since we started.
What was that thread about a buddy who was the biggest hater of Daniel Jones?
Oh, yeah.
That dude that went on a rant about how he played Daniel Jones in high school and he was ass and he didn't know how he made it to the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And he would tweet this consistently over the course of years. Talking about something. I played Daniel Jones in high school. That's how he would start every tweet.
I mean, I was about to say he said so much.
Yeah,
bro.
he did. He was fanned out. What is his name? T-Tom? That's it. That's him? I think it's T-Tom or something like that.
Yeah, I'm on that type of energy, for all y'all that got cut. Just for making me stomach and watch that preseason.
Shout out to Jack Plummer.
Wow, that was so random. Well, let's get started. Obviously, the Carolina Panthers had their Week 3 preseason matchup against the Buffalo Bills in New York. And Terrence, as well as a lot of you guys, were able to get y'all's fix. Were able to get y'all's rocks off to, the first team offense coming out and performing and producing. So I'm gonna open the floor to him because I just want to. No, because you're the co-host, bro. So I'm gonna pass some things. I'll take it, and I'm gonna just let you have it because I know you were excited. I know you were excited. So there you go. How did you feel about the game on Saturday or Sunday, whenever the game, Saturday afternoon? How did you feel seeing first team offense? I don't really care about everything else. First team offense. Give me your reaction. Go.
I felt great, honestly. You can tell that the offense looked a lot different than it did last year. Looked a lot more put together. Guys looked a lot more comfortable. You seen a lot more open routes. The offensive line blocked solid. So, I mean, I felt good. Bryce made some good throws, throws that he kind of had trouble with last year. The mid to deep ball throws, rolling outside of the pocket. We seen him make those. Kind of struggled with those last year, but it made me feel good going into the season. He only missed one pass on the drive. It wasn't really any point in the drive where the offense was like a stalemate. Because even on the 4th and 3, like it shouldn't even been in that position. So at the goal line, it was kind of shaky a little bit. Took them a while to score, but they figured it out. Scored a touchdown ultimately. So I felt good going into the season. So I'm excited to see what this team can do. Dave Canales already showed me some things that Frank Wright didn't last year. So, yeah, I'm just excited to see what it's going to look like this year.
And you gather all of that from them going against the second and third team defense, correct?
I mean,
just yes or no?
Did you see the way they played last year?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, so anything should make you feel good.
So, not wrong.
I mean,
coming off
that's
a 2-15 season to where they could barely move the ball at all. Like, that makes me feel good, even if it's against the second and third team.
Especially where they were shut out, I believe, the last 2 games of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't know.
Very nasty.
I think I believe it was the last 2 games.
Right.
Yeah, so to see a touchdown from the first team offense was refreshing, to say the least.
Yeah. Like I said on Move to Change, what?
I was just going to say, can we say that, I'm going to say, y'all don't have to say I'm going to say that it looks like B9 has turned the corner a little bit. A flip has switched.
See?
I'm talking about from what I seen at training camp. Oh, can I get my rocks off? I don't get to talk,
bro.
I don't get to
talk.
talk.
That I be talking about.
I don't get to talk
because he's not a part of the fan base like that for real. But to a certain degree, he is. And
So
he
I
has
don't
a
get
platform, but so he's gonna suck Bryce off and gas him up. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you get it off.
You've been doing it all off season too.
No, just relax. Go.
I can't because I'm all in on Bryce. Did I not say he was going to have an MVP caliber season? So I can't say that I'm happy to see the guy looking good.
Did not.
How did I not? We got a bet.
You said that he would be a top 15 MVP candidate.
That's an MVP caliber season. What are we talking about?
So top 15. Just go ahead, bro. Just go ahead,
Is
bro.
it not?
Top 15 equates to an MVP season.
An MVP caliber season? Yes, it does.
No,
there's
bro.
only 32 teams in the NFL.
Right, and it's and the MVP is a quarterback award. So if he's only top 15, that means that he was luckily top 50% quarterback in the NFL.
There's other positions that can be in the running.
Okay,
for the
go ahead.
belt.
Hey,
Anyway,
so cool. I know you were excited,
Thank
bro.
you.
Get your my bad.
So all I'm saying is it looks like a flip done switch. When I seen Bryce have a little attitude for the lack of production from his team in training camp, that shit pissed him off. And then to come out in the first time that we've seen him in almost a year to look as efficient and clean as he did and look calm. His feet don't look as happy as they were a year ago. Even, making these throws on the run, he looks a little bit more comfortable moving around within the flow of the offense, creating that extra time to get these guys by the receivers downfield some time to get open. I just think something is kind of starting to click with Bryce, and I think it's attributed to the new coaching staff and, him just having a year of NFL play under his belt. I'm excited to see what he's going to look like this year.
Yeah, I will say something going off of that when you mentioned his feet. It was funny because I picked up on it. Like, there was a point where he started to get a little happy feet, and then he was like, oh, shit, like, I actually got time. Like, you could see him, like, about to get jittery, and then he just, like, settled in, like, oh, shit, I actually got some time to make a throw. So that was exciting to see.
And I don't think what I said was really that crazy.
I don't either. I thought you were going to do worse than you did. So I tip my cap to you.
So you wasn't happy at all. Cool.
No, I'm not
He's
saying
just a
that.
hater, bro.
I'm not saying
it's
that.
sad, bro.
Bro, that for one, we can't even run with that narrative anymore. Because I've been on too many videos and platforms saying that my disdain for Bryce Young has dissolved. So don't say I'm just a hater. I'm not saying that. My point still remains the same as it did last week. If you didn't tune in last week, same thing I told Terrence and Tavian last week. I'm going to re-emphasize it here. It to me didn't change anything. I'm glad that the fan base was able to get their rocks off and see the first team offense perform and produce. Like I said,
even anybody get hurt?
No, nobody got hurt, so that's phenomenal. But we weren't at full strength. But I will say it was great to see everybody get off the field healthy. Great to see a touchdown. To me, if this is our first team offense, that's what's supposed to happen. You should score a touchdown against a fucking second and third string unit. But, I know I kind of stand alone in that thinking. So, it was phenomenal. It's cotton candy and fucking rainbows, if that's what we want to do. My whole thing is when week 1 rolls around, I just need them to be on the same energy. That's the only thing I want. That's the only thing I want.
I'm sure everybody is hoping that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I want. But then again, like I've seen this, like I said, the whole summer. Like I said on this platform last week, maybe I'm a little bit jaded because I have been at training camp the whole time. I did see joint practice against the Jets, so I've been seeing the first team offense. So I understand where my position could be a tad bit jaded, and I can understand why other people in the fan base that weren't able to make it to training camp as often or whatever the case may be would want to see that and see what we have. So glad y'all were able to get y'all's rocks off.
Well, you also know that everything in training camp doesn't always translate to the real game as well. Because, we seen that last year with a couple players. I'm not going to mention his name, but
who?
Are we doing this, bro?
Who are you talking about?
Brian Burns. We seen training camp. He looked crazy, and then pretty much nothing throughout the season. So everything in training camp doesn't always translate to the game. So that's another thing. Just happy to see that what we're doing in training camp is actually being done in the game.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. Listen, I'm not on bullshit today. Not until we talk about 80. Not until we talk about 80. Ain't that his number? 80.
You should know this, your boy.
Yeah. Not until we talk about 80.
You need to tell them your story or your perception.
What?
Me?
What?
Yeah.
Of what?
Ian
Thomas? He already told them like 3 weeks ago, and I've already come on here and said it. Same way I came on here and talked about Jamie Robinson. I gassed Jamie Robinson up. Jamie Robinson simply is not that. I don't know why he's still a part of this team.
But truthfully, though, I don't think there's ever been a player that you gassed up quite the way that you gassed up Ian Thomas when he first popped on the scene that just, really shit the bed in the way that Ian Thomas has since putting on a Carolina Panthers uniform. That shit is, you really, no, because you...
It be COE, bro. It be COE.
Because you came in...
COE.
No, this was before the content. This was just
COE.
regular... This was regular JJ. This was when you went by the icon. Signing autographs for little kids at training camp. This is way back, and you really had anointed this nigga the second coming of Greg Olsen. That the first time
I was never that high on him. But go.
Okay, you can say that. You can say that.
Get it off.
Can we call a guest speaker? Can we call Kenny and just get that clarification? Because I swear to you, this man, you would have thought Ian Thomas was really about to be how Kyle Pitts was being gassed the way when he drafted. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how JJ was doing, but for Ian Thomas.
And so you just know his player evaluation isn't that good.
Correct.
I don't know why we're doing this early in the show, actually. I would have loved to finish talking about the Bills. The Bills game.
You brought it up.
I did.
But we might not even get a chance to touch on it. But just know for the viewers out
your
there.
call has been forwarded.
Saying that I anointed him the second coming of...
R.I.P. to all the real niggas worldwide.
saying that I anointed him the second coming of Brian Burns is a stretch. Was I high on Ian Thomas? Absolutely. But anointing him, of Greg Olsen, my bad. Saying that I gassed him up to that level is preposterous. But I understand, but that's fine.
Were this guy, he's gonna replace Greg Olsen. This is the guy. And it was Ian Thomas. That.
Just imagine someone
that's not
saying
really
that
preposterous.
It's fucking insane.
So imagine me.
Hindsight is always 2020.
Imagine me being
hindsight is always 2020.
Not really that tapped in with the Panthers at the time, coming out to training camp and being like, okay, yeah, let's see what Buddy got. My jaw hit the floor after 2 days at training camp. I didn't even notice the bitch was out there. Just disgusting work, bro.
Glorified offensive lineman.
And I couldn't stand him ever since.
That's nasty work, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Your player evaluations are dog shit, bro.
Yeah, I probably should just go stick to giving guys a year and just going with that. Because I did say Jamie was brought in to replace Chin. I did say that. That's documented. This whole story, this whole notion that he, bro, because I will admit that it was gas. It was definitely gas. But him saying, I was doing everything short but sucking his dick, that is where it's just bro, just chill, bro. That did not happen that way.
No,
but,
it did.
But, I mean, I get it. It's COE, bro. It's COE. So I respect it. Off of the preseason game, what I will just circle back and say real quick is, this is what I've been trying to tell everybody the whole offseason. As far as that offense goes, just relax. I believe Dave Canales is coming in here. I believe that he's developing a plan. Why are you shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head, bro? Have I not been saying that the whole camp? I haven't been saying that the whole camp on Move the Chains. Hey, and I told y'all niggas was gassing up on X talking about the playbook preseason week 1, doing all of this. And I said, everybody just chill. I haven't been saying that.
Did I say anything, bro?
Bro, were you not just shaking your head?
Continue with your story.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Like I've been telling people, which I have, it's documented on wax. Go watch the video if you want and come back to this one. This offense is going to be okay. This offense is going to be okay. I told people we had a plethora of weapons. Told people that we no longer had a weapon problem. So the excuse that Bryce Young didn't have weapons and that they weren't winning last year, out the window. Said that multiple times too. I believe they were able to display that against the Buffalo Bills, and that was a good thing that we were able to see. Just a development, the understanding of the new offense, and to be quite frank, like I said on the live stream on Sunday, if that was vanilla, because per Dave Canales, the offense that we were going to be running on Saturday against the Buffalo Bills was going to be vanilla. If that was vanilla, I can't wait.
He used those terms?
Yes.
Starting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, I like I said, that shit gave me PTSD, personally. But his vanilla is a little bit different. Pause. That sounds.
That's diabolical.
That sounded wild. That sounded wild. Pause. I just want to retract that whole statement. Actually. Let's just move on. That was wild. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's insane.
Fucking insane.
Hey, y'all clip that. Y'all clip that.
That is sick work. Let me see. Let me see. Everybody just relax. Everybody just chill. Everybody just relax. Everybody just chill.
It's different. It's different, big bro.
Chill, bro. Relax. Oh, Juice. Y'all got y'all tickets? We going to here first. Everybody just chill. It's a little unorthodox. Just relax. You don't have your ticket ready? Why y'all don't never have y'all tickets ready, bro? Dylan send me his ticket at 1 o'clock every single Tuesday. Why y'all don't have y'all tickets ready, bro? 12:01 today. Dylan, Appalachian State minus 33.5. Under Akron and Ohio State under 59.5 points. Austin P, is that the way you pronounce it? P-E-A-Y? I don't know that school. I've seen them in passing. I know they had a coach just get hemmed up. But he has them covering the spread at plus 36.5. That is going to get you plus 601. If you go lock it in right now, plus 601. All of those matchups are coming on Saturday, first week officially of college football season. So go lock that in right now. I wish y'all could see how deep they be thinking on this joint. Are y'all ready? Or no?
Just about. We're almost there.
Would y'all like me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, little bro. What's so funny, bro?
Nothing. I got a 3-leg, very simple. 3-leg, very simple. North Dakota State plus 9.5 to cover the spread. Central Connecticut plus 31.5 to cover the spread against Central Michigan. And Jackson State money line plus 235. That's going to get you plus 1154. 3 legs. Listen, you put $15, $20 on this 3-leg, it's going to feed you for the week. It's going to feed you for the week. I got the juice. I'm giving it to y'all. We're starting over. I was one leg away last week from hitting my first ticket on this segment. And really, I'm blown because the Carolina Panthers haven't done anything all preseason from a scoring standpoint. I take the under against the Bills, and they still, they proceed to run up fucking 70 points on the scoreboard in totality between the two.
This might be all right here.
So, it is what it is. Like I said, plus 1154. Go lock it in right now if you want to get those odds, and if you want to get paid, and if you want to eat for the week.
I'm ready.
Go.
All right. I got a 5-leg plus 1353. So I got NC State minus 33.5 against Western Carolina. If y'all say that quarterback is that, then that shouldn't be a problem. I got Colorado minus 9.5 against North Dakota State. We know Deion gonna have them boys ready to play. I got North Carolina money line against Minnesota. I don't know why it's so close, like we just soft, but okay, cool. Michigan State money line against Florida Atlantic. And then I got Georgia covering the spread of 13.5 against Clemson. I just feel like Clemson is not that. Hey, Trig, if you tune in, y'all are dog shit. But okay, cool.
Cool. I got a eight leg for y'all. Straight money lines. We're taking Colorado over North Dakota State. We're taking North Carolina over Minnesota. We're taking Georgia money line against Clemson. Trig, y'all are dog shit. We're taking Penn State over West Virginia. We're taking Virginia Tech over Vanderbilt. We're taking Oklahoma State over South Dakota State. Now, this is where it gets a little dicey right here. We're taking Miami over Florida, and we're taking LSU over USC. USC and LSU is a battle of top 25 teams. Miami, Florida, ranked, rivalry game. Miami is ranked. They are favored. Think Florida could have the potential to clip them, but we're going to roll with Miami, and we're rolling with LSU. Go ahead and lock it in, plus $11.99. Go ahead and make some money. It's football season. We don't miss.
I think Miami going to be straight because I think they got Cam Ward, right?
Yeah, they do. That's why I picked them ultimately. But I know Florida's going to be a tough out, especially in a rivalry game week 1.
Who is Clemson playing?
Georgia.
That might get embarrassing.
And they
what are the odds on that?
they playing in the dome.
What, in Mercedes? What are the odds on that? The money line for Georgia?
Minus 550.
Georgia's money line, minus 550.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these were the favorites. It's just loading up favorites.
Got you.
On an 8-leg.
What was your total?
$11.99.
You might hit on that. You might get paid off of that, actually.
Not a bad ticket.
You put the ticket in.
I am. It's football season. It's football season. Tickets are going back in now. Y'all can miss me with that baseball shit.
Let me screenshot my shit. Cause niggas be.
Okay, well, are we ready?
Are we talking about snip?
Yep, this is what people came here for.
Snip, ho.
Look at this. Look what I got to look up and see.
That CD?
They on his body, I'm telling you. They on
Jalen Coker.
They on his body heavy.
Fan favorite.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where do y'all want to start? I just have a couple of names that I want to address specifically.
Can we get
we can go position group by position group if you guys would like.
Can you send me that?
Yeah, I did.
Can we roll the music?
What music?
Oh no, we don't get roster cut down music. I thought we had music for every other segment.
Did you send me the song? If you didn't send me the song, then no.
Oh, did I have to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, requested me to open up to a song and then didn't send it. Like, imagine that.
I mean, thought it was universal. I didn't think this was one I would have had to send, but
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't remember what song it was.
Oh, okay. So it's just fuck me, huh?
I didn't say it. You did. I don't even know if we need to spin this, because if it checks and we get blocked, because some of the videos do be getting blocked, and I'll be having to go and make adjustments.
Oh, we be having to pull the music down? Oh. Well, this is the type energy that I was on for roster cut down day.
No, bro. No, I'm not doing this, bro, because you trolling. Like, you trolling, bro, and niggas' careers done ended today.
We got practice squad spots players.
No, because a lot of them ain't making that.
Spots. Well,
a lot of them ain't making that.
All of our careers got to end at some point. At least y'all made it this far. Congratulations to you. Again, Just have the
So
keys sitting
cruel.
on the dash of my rental.
Wow. Position group by position group.
We can do that.
Cool.
We starting offense or defense?
Defense.
Cool.
Let's get that out of the way. Because really, there's no real shocks on this list. There are a couple that to me were favorites that weren't able to make it. Really, it's only one. Matter of fact, let's just go to the safeties. Let's just go immediately to the safeties. Y'all let me know. Let's just have an open dialogue. Anybody that made it that you're surprised with, anybody that you were looking for that didn't make it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. The Panthers decided to bring on 5 safeties, which I did predict they were going to do. However, I did get a couple of the names wrong on my my projection. But they did take on 5 safeties: Xavier Woods, Jordan Fuller, Nick Scott, Jamie Robinson, Damani Richardson. For me, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm surprised that Damani Richardson made it. Because I talked about Damani Richardson multiple times on Move the Chains and just about how he was making a huge impact defensively, causing multiple turnovers. He had the interception week 2 against the Patriots on the overthrow. So it wasn't really when was that? When did he have that pick? That was against the Jets, I think that was
remember.
against the Jets week 2. My apologies. But
Easy to forget.
So it wasn't to me, it wasn't necessarily a huge surprise, but I will say I was not expecting Alex Cook not to be on this list. So when I see Jamie Robinson and I also see Damani Richardson and I don't see Alex Cook, I'm puzzled, personally. But that's just bias. I will say that.
I mean, I don't have any real disagreement there because I'm not very familiar with Damani Richardson's game. But Jamie Robinson, I just didn't think he did enough in preseason and training camp to make this team stemming all the way from last year. I wanted him cut last year. So I don't know who he knows in the front office. I don't know what kind of relationships he has there, but shout out to him. But, yeah, I just didn't think he would be on the team. But here we are again. He's just undersized, undisciplined, don't really have a knack for the ball in the air. And they say he's supposed to be some kind of hitter. I mean, I guess, but I ain't really seen that too much. So cool.
And I did hear a theory about it. I wish I would have just screen recorded it, but the fact that he's coming in as a safety, initially when they released the depth charts, he was brought in. Well, he was listed as a nickelback. So then they released the depth chart, and he's a safety again. So that was kind of puzzling to me as well. Now, I don't know if it's going to be one of those situations where they try and, put him in a nickelback position once they make some waiver claims. Obviously, we're talking about this on Tuesday. So when you guys hear this and see this, understand that there may be some waivers that occur, whatever the case may be. We're going based off of the knowledge in the roster that we have right now, the depth chart that we have right now, the 53-man roster that we have right now. That's what we're going based off of.
So I guess if they pick up somebody on the waivers, they can still cut down.
They're going to have to cut down. If they pick somebody, they put a claim in to bring somebody in, they're going to have to cut down. So a lot of these names that we talk about today could still be on the hot seat. Like Jalen Coker, I know y'all were in love with him, and my co-host is going to tell y'all when we talk about it that it's partially my fault, which
it is.
I wear it. But there's a couple of guys that I don't believe are going to make it past 4 p.m. on Wednesday.
Jonathan Abrams or Jamie?
Jonathan Abrams, hands down. No question. You want to talk about a hitter.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a hitter.
I mean, but isn't he one literally? When he's sliding on shit, or that's not the same person.
You're thinking of
that's somebody different.
Yeah, you're thinking of their other DB that they had. What was his name? With the twist, the colored twist.
Oh,
yeah, that was a different one.
That's a different one.
Cool.
Jonathan Abrams is just he a demon. He one of them ones. You can go look at his highlight.
I was gonna say he looked. That one's really puzzling to me how his career hasn't really panned out because he looked very, very good in Oakland.
It's
when
because
he first hit the scene, and then that whole Jay Gruden or John Gruden, whichever one it was.
Yeah, he's a liability in coverage. He takes a lot of risks.
Ain't nothing different than Jamie.
He's bigger than Jamie.
No, I'm just saying, There's nothing really different. I mean,
For the purposes of replacing them.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, fair enough.
Just more experience.
Yeah. But if I had
Higher
to pick
profile player
personally,
coming out of the draft.
yes. If I had to pick one personally, I'm going Jonathan Abram. But you also know how I feel about him, so it's just like, I don't know. But that, to me, Jamie Robinson, that group is a question mark. Damani Richardson is a question mark. I would love to know what the assessment was on Alex Cook, because to me, you have a guy that was in the system last year. He played relatively well in the system last year, and then this season, he was getting a plethora of reps in preseason games, multiple reps in the off or during training camp. He was getting the special teams reps. So really, to me, there's a question mark there. There's a question mark there. Now, Rudy Ford, who was on my initial projection, I understand it. That was a stretch. That was a shot in the dark. But I did have a feeling that the Carolina Panthers were going to keep 5 safeties because of how deep that group was in training camp. So I had a feeling on the number. However, the names, question marks to me. Damani as well as Jamie, I don't really understand.
They're probably both practice squad plays. These are guys that the Panthers probably feel fairly confident in the fact that they will slide through waivers and they'll be able to put them on the practice squad, which is what a lot of teams often end up doing. With a lot of these guys that they're releasing. So there's a good possibility that a lot of these guys do return, especially in the fact that it's not like any of them are like outstanding or like difference makers or anything like that. These are guys that you can kind of put back into the system and let them develop just a little bit longer.
Fair enough. Corners, let's go here. Nothing surprises me here. The only thing that surprises me is the number, I guess. Thought they would keep 6, but that's why I was going initially with the Jamie Robinson thing, because he can serve as a nickel, and they did group him up. All the cornerbacks up. They didn't define, nickel or outside, whatever the case may be. JC, Mike Jackson, Troy Hill, Deshaun Jameson, and Shaw Smith-Wade. DiCaprio Boodle, clipped.
Yeah, I mean, I seen that from the way he played in the Bills game. I knew he was clipped.
He got done so dirty on that double
it was
move.
Nasty. He should have been cut in the middle of the game. But
yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate, but
so is Lamar Jackson hurt? He's hurt, right?
Yeah, he's hurt, and I think that they talked about. I don't know if this was just in spaces randomly, but I heard that they could potentially bring him back, put him on IR or something like that. But I don't think that. I don't know if they'll do that.
So he basically got clipped because he was hurt.
Yes.
Got you.
Yes. I think he's fried. And honestly, for me personally, I think just based off of waivers, based on the claims we'll be able to put in, I'm not 100% sure that I want to just go get Lamar Jackson to be able to put him on the IR or PUP, whatever the case may be, and just sit there when I can go get a guy that's healthy, that's been working all summer.
Well,
and
there is a special designation that you can have when you release guys with that injury designation. And they have a slightly different waiver claim process. So when you release a guy like injured, they do have a slightly different waiver process. So there is that too.
So what is the thing with Anthony Brown then?
Anthony Brown is just fried.
Oh,
his ass.
Okay.
yeah. He just isn't a part of the 53 now. I don't know if they'll bring him back. The potential they will, but I don't see why you do.
But
you don't really need him.
Yeah, I warned y'all about that the day that he was warming up in the first day of practice.
And he got hurt.
Signed.
I'm pretty sure Anthony Brown got hurt too. Yeah, so I think he just is clipped all together like Lamar is.
Yeah, I think his career is pretty much done.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yeah,
it's about that time.
Yeah, it's about the last stop.
Yeah.
This is when things get nasty. Let's go outside linebackers. This is a problem. Outside linebackers is a problem for the Carolina Panthers. I've been saying it throughout training camp. I said it on multiple live streams. We've talked about outside linebacker and edge rusher specifically on this podcast. This is a problem. Jadeveon, DJ Johnson, Kaylavon Chason, and Iku Leota. To the Carolina Panthers organization, I really, really wish, and I damn near pray every night that y'all would stop trying to sell us on DJ Johnson. Like, honestly, I'm done with it. He had a sack the other day. Phenomenal. That's great. He is not that, bro.
Okay.
DJ Johnson is not good.
Let me ask you a question real quick, though. Do you say it's a problem based on the fact that the names that are in that room in relation to what we actually had at practice? Like, because I don't think that they kept anyone that they shouldn't have kept based on the other outside linebackers that were at practice. But I still think in that same breath, you need to prioritize going to get one.
Yes, and then that's where my position is.
And then again, would you feel it would be that much of a problem if Amari Barno and DJ Wanham was healthy? And if so, who do you think on this list would be clipped?
That's a very, very loaded question. Very loaded question, because there's multiple layers to that. So I'll try and go layer by layer to respond to you. I think it's a problem not because of who we had in camp, because I don't think that there's anybody that really, really jumped off the film, jumped off the practice field that would make you feel any differently than the 4 or 5 names that you kept.
Yeah, I think the same.
That's what I would say to respond to that immediately. We have to go get an outside linebacker. That probably should be one of the first claims that we put in. And I almost don't care who it is. We just need a different body that has the ability to win at a higher rate than Leota, Chason, and DJ Johnson. That's what I'll say. Would it be different? I think it would be different if guys were healthy, if Amari was healthy and DJ Wanham was healthy. And I think that Kaylavon Chason would be the guy that was out to answer all of those questions kind of in one. But the Carolina Panthers messed up on DJ Wanham too. That's something that I tweeted out this morning. Tuesday morning, I tweeted that out. It's safe to say that the Carolina Panthers dicked that situation off. Excuse the language.
Yeah, I don't really know how you get that far in the process and didn't know that his recovery was that extensive.
Bro, and that's why I say they messed it up, bro, because DJ Wanham, to me, from a playmaking ability, just from his film, if you just go look at DJ Wanham's film, there's nothing that jumps out at you that tells you that this is a guy you can go take a risk on or that you need to take a risk on because the bang is going to be worth the buck. He's just simply not. And it's really, like, this is a situation that's really frustrating because I understand what the Carolina Panthers did because you get rid of Brian Burns and you need a fix. But not saying, and don't get me misconstrued, I'm not saying that DJ Wanham is even remotely close to the level of player that Brian Burns is. But it just seems extremely reactionary. The move seems extremely reactionary. It seems reactive. It seems like we didn't do our due diligence. So now we're stuck with this guy who is below average if we're talking about the ability to win and pass rush. Because, like Dunk pointed out, if you look at the film, he's not a guy that's beating niggas off the ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not, his arsenal ain't crazy. He's not one of those guys. A lot of his sacks come off of just pure motor. So it's a problem. We messed that situation up, and now we got to live with it. We got to fix it. Now, Barno, completely different situation. You know how I feel about Barno. I've been vocal about Amari Barno on this podcast as well as Move the Chains. I think that Amari Barno's ceiling is extremely high. I think just based off his speed alone, he'll be able to win a lot of the matchups that we'll see this season. But right now, he's injured. I mean, and what can you do? What can you do? So you have to roll out what you have right now. But I still don't think the room is crazy, even if you bring those two guys back. Even if you bring Barno back. I mean, Barno really, if we talk about a production standpoint, he ain't that much better than DJ Johnson. I just believe his ceiling is higher because I saw a couple more flashes than DJ Johnson. But outside linebacker is an issue. This is alarming. This is alarming to me. Y'all got anything to add? We can move on if y'all want.
No, we're good. I mean, you said it. You said everything there is to say.
Cool. Inside, Shaq, Josie, Claudin Sherless, and Trevin Wallace. I think that if I'm not mistaken, I think I got this room perfect. I don't think that there's any, to me, there's no surprise at all. I know a lot of people were kind of surprised about Chandler Wooten just based on the fact that he provides a little bit more in special teams. But, I mean, unfortunately, he didn't do enough with the reps that he got throughout preseason in his actual inside linebacking position. Sherless looked a lot better. So, I mean, if you're surprised about that, I would just encourage you just to go watch his reps during preseason.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he was one of the more bright spots in preseason, him and Trevin Wallace.
For sure, absolutely.
So I kind of knew that, those two will make it automatically. They were pretty much really the only ones around the ball most of the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, when they were on the field and they were getting reps, that's what we had. That to me, inside linebacker shouldn't be a surprise. And I'm comfortable personally. I'm comfortable with that group. I'm comfortable with Shaq. I'm comfortable with Josie. Shereless, he has there's development to be had, but he's going to be solid. And Trevin, I already have said multiple times, but I'll say it once again. I believe that Trevin is going to be the rookie that has the most impact immediately, or he'll have the most impact sooner than everybody else, every other rookie in this class. That's how I feel about Trevin Wallace, just based off what he showed me in preseason. Dave Canales has spoken about him multiple times about just his knowledge and understanding of the playbook, and once he fully engulfs that and has the understanding of that, he'll be playing at a different speed. And I think at times during the preseason we saw flashes of that. That's how I feel about Trevin Wallace. I think Trevin Wallace is a dog. And honestly, we came on here and shit on that pick, all of us on this set. I think 97% of the fan base shit on the pick. And I believe he'll make us eat those words in the very near future. I'll be honest. Well, you seem like you have something to say.
I just don't really remember shitting on him, but like, okay.
Oh, I'm off?
Yeah, I think you shit on him.
I probably did.
I know I didn't.
Okay, I don't know.
I shit on the Jonathan Brooks and I definitely shit on Shaw.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it was. You were loading up for Shaw. You're right.
Him and Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah. I think Jonathan Brooks is going to, when he gets healthy.
Bro, it's crazy because in fantasy, they already got like his points projection higher than Chuba's, and he ain't even playing until like week 3 or 4.
He went, in the draft that we were in the other day, he went, Jonathan Brooks went round 4 or 5. Chuba didn't go until like round 8 or 9.
Yes,
maybe 10.
He did the same thing in my draft.
Yeah, so I think he's going to be special, but we'll say that conversation for running backs. This was
you got to fucking show me.
Same.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Y'all, never mind. D-line. This to me was surprising. This to me was surprising personally.
Where was your surprise?
7. Where?
Yeah, the amount.
The fact
or
that
the
they
player?
kept 7. That's number one. But I do think again, like we're in a tough position right now. And you remember we were talking about this when we were betting about baseball. Like we're in a tough position because we're not getting all the information and everything like that. So when they hear this, like it may sound crazy, it may sound jaded because the numbers may change. But right now, the Carolina Panthers have 7 D linemen on their roster. Not going to hold you. I know Jaden Crumedy is a rookie, but he didn't show me shit. The whole training camp, Jaden Crumedy didn't show me shit. I know he's a rookie. I know we I know we used a draft pick. Listen, I know we used a draft pick on him, so I get it and I understand. But I'm not going to hold you. Jaden Crumedy should have been clipped.
Well, according to you, you said it right the first time. If he's that bad.
Yeah, he should have been clipped, bro.
I don't really know what you saw, but like when I was at training camp, I saw he flashed. Crumedy flashed when we were at training camp.
He got injured when we was there too. One of those days.
I know he got hurt. I don't know what day. I can't remember because some of them days just, run together. But if it was a flash, it may have been 2 plays.
Well, the flash that I saw, he put Robbie Hunt right into Bryce's lap. So that was the flash that I saw.
Hey, well, maybe that's the flash they saw too. Maybe that was enough for him to keep his roster spot. Jaden Peavy.
Yeah,
no idea how Jaden Peavy makes it over TJ Smith. No idea. No idea how LeBron Ray makes it over TJ Smith. And again, I don't understand why we have 7 niggas in this position group.
Especially when you're running a 3-4.
A 3-4.
So you're only gonna have 3 interior linemen, and then the rest are gonna be the outside backers.
And probably just 2.
Yeah.
For real. You only really gonna have 2.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have your 1, you're gonna have your 3, and then you're gonna have your outside linebackers lined up kind of in that wide 9 position. More times than not, just based off what I've seen. More times than not, that's what it's going to look like. LeBron Ray, I'm not going to hold you. He's been here for 2 or 3 years. I don't know what they see in him. I'm happy for him. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm happy for him. But at the same time, I don't really understand it. I don't understand Jaden Peavy. Derek Brown, Shy Tuttle, Ashawn Robinson, those guys were locks off rip. And Nick Thurman, that was another guy I believe I had on my projection. He to me is a dog.
Yeah, he showed some flashes last year as well.
Absolutely. So. He showed flashes. But these other niggas, these other guys, I'm trying to do better on it. I feel like we've been doing a lot better with it too,
until
bro.
Today. I ain't gonna lie, you done called them niggas like 4 times in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've been trying. I've been trying my best, but sometimes I already gave them a warning at the beginning of the pod. It was gonna be profanity, and I didn't tell y'all the N-word, but still. Like, these niggas is dog shit, bro. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold you. And I shouldn't say it like that because I said that I was going to stop talking about guys like that.
I just don't think that defense is that as a whole. If
the
you just look
names
at them on paper,
It's bad. It's
it
bad.
looks nasty.
Yeah, it is. It's questionable. Like, cornerback,
And
I
I've
know
been
y'all
telling
feel,
y'all that.
cause I know that's how you feel. But for me, cornerback, I'm chilling. I'm good. I like JC. I think Mike Jackson is a big corner. I think he's going to be solid. He shows flashes with Seattle last year.
He did.
You know how I feel about Deshaun Jameson. I think he's a dog. I know he's undersized. I know people like bringing up, the Jettas game or whatever the case may be. But that doesn't scare me, bro.
You like bringing up the Jettas game.
What? Because he stretched them?
Yeah, that's your like you get your fix off.
No,
of that.
but people, but to combat that, people will say that's fine, but he still got fried.
For 2 and 2 of them were for touchdowns.
Right, exactly. Which was exactly what Terrence did last week. So I understand that position as well. You did. Don't make that face.
I know. But tell me where the fuck I went wrong.
I mean, you didn't go wrong,
Okay, cool.
and I understand. That's okay. And also, I will say YouTube comments straightened your ass out. Straighten you out completely because you were trying to make the argument that this secondary with Boodle and Jameson was so dog shit, and you were listing off all these names
Boodle ain't even on the roster.
that got fried and all of this shit.
But they straighten me out. That nigga ain't even on the fucking roster.
And listing all these games, and then you made the argument that C.J. Henderson would be better. And they came to my defense and said, nigga, C.J. Henderson was on the roster and was the primary defender for a lot of them games that you were mentioning where niggas got fried. So don't try and put it on Deshaun, nigga.
And
that's my whole point. Don't put that on Deshaun.
And what I'm telling you, Deshaun is going to take that place of C.J. Henderson and get fucking fried.
No,
so that's what I'm telling you.
He's not, bro.
Okay, we'll see.
He's just not a holder where you think he is. Like, I know you think he's sweet. He's not, bro. He's not. Shaw, we know Shaw, same thing. Same thing.
Like, this room is ass, bro. Like, I don't understand, like, what fascination y'all are getting from this.
Because
you have fucking Michael Jackson as a fucking cornerback, too. Like, come on, bro.
He's solid. Bro. Have you watched his? Just don't tell me highlights. Don't tell me highlights. Have you watched his film? Did you watch 1 or 2 games of his film last year for Seattle?
Nope.
Actually, you want me to tell you what? Just go watch Dunk. Dunk did it. Dunk did a whole film breakdown on him. Go watch Dunk shit after we're done.
What I'm saying, like, this shit looks cute and cool, but these receivers that we have in this day and age, they're gonna lick their fucking chops lined up against Michael Jackson.
I know you keep saying that.
Okay,
and I don't believe that's the case.
Cool.
I don't believe that's the case. I think he's solid. But yeah, the overall, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. We'll be okay. And I think I say we'll be okay because I trust EJ that much. And I've said that multiple times.
EJ can't go out and play for them niggas.
He can't, but let me ask you a question. Did you see how different that defense looked against Buffalo this past week?
What, they gave up what?
They gave up like 29, 26,
cool.
something like that.
Cool.
That shit won't go on when EJ was calling the plays. So, yeah, when I say I trust EJ, it's because he might not be able to play for him, but the energy is a little bit different.
Yeah, the energy might be different, but like I said, on the YouTube shit, all them niggas in the comments, I don't give a fuck. Just like I said, it's only going to be a certain amount that a scheme is going to be able to disguise. A scheme is only going to be able to disguise mediocre talent to a certain extent.
Okay.
So that's all I got to say. So, EJ, I mean, I hope he is what you crown him to be.
He is just documented.
But like, that scheme is only going to disguise a certain amount. Like, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we're only 2 weeks away. We're only 2 weeks away. So all of the assumptions and stuff that we're making at this point, we'll know the truth very, very soon. We'll know the truth very, very soon. Offense. Let's go here. 10 offensive linemen. I knew another one of the projections that I got right. Not the names, but I did get the number correct. I knew that the Carolina Panthers were going to try to load up on offensive linemen. Because if you look and see how shitty that offensive line was last year, there's no way that you don't go above and beyond this year and to retaliate against having a second season like that. Ike, Dame, Austin, Robert, Taylor. Locks. We already knew that. Brady Christensen had a solid camp. Zavala. Now, I know we've come on this podcast a lot and shit and slander on Chandler Zavala, but he had a good camp, and he had a couple of great preseason games.
I'm gonna need you to drop "we" from your vocabulary when you're talking about players that we shit on.
Bro,
you.
No, that's fine.
Chandler Zavala and you have beef. We all have our players.
I don't have smoke with Chandler Zavala.
We all have our players that we don't fuck with. All right, Chandler Zavala just wasn't one of them for me. I don't know about Terrence.
So then
he was.
I was about to say. No, I was about to say.
I wasn't going to deny
I can't die on this hill alone.
Deny it because I told him. I say we don't ever draft another fucking lineman from NC State as long as the Carolina Panthers is the organization. And that was based on the fact that
that's too much.
That was based off what I seen from Chandler Zavala and Ick. I don't know how Chandler Zavala keeps making a roster, especially when you cut Jack Anderson.
Now that. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't understand that when he was like, what, the highest graded PFF, whatever the fuck he was.
What, 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I believe?
Yeah, and then you just go and cut him but keep Chandler Zavala? Like,
but Zavala got that too, though. Zavala got one of those on his belt.
Zavala also got one of the worst that they ever graded in history under his belt as well.
Over multiple games. Yeah. That's very true. That's very true. It is a double-edged sword. But I will give Zavala credit. I think Zavala had a good camp. Zavala was available, which is not what we saw from guys like Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt at times, etc. So I will give Zavala credit for that. He was healthy. He participated. He worked. He was working his ass off. I ain't gonna take nothing from him. And then when he got his opportunity in preseason, obviously he did enough for the coaching staff to choose him over Jack Anderson.
Yeah, I just disagree.
And Andrew Raym. Now, Andrew Raym really, to me, I think Zavala was safe. I think, honestly, if I'm not mistaken, I got this group damn near spot on, except for I had I had Jack Anderson over Andrew Raym. Andrew Raym is a center that came in last week for the Carolina Panthers. Did a decent job. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, he went with the first unit. And he looked solid. He did a good job. There was never really a time, in my opinion, that Bryce was under duress, except for that one play, where he about damn near got stretched. Yeah, where he about got stretched. But other than that, that offensive line unit looked solid to me. And they were down Damian Lewis and they were down Austin Corbett. So I'm not going to be mad at this number at all. Like I said, Andrew Raym, I guess just based on the fact that he played center and he was able to get those center reps, that kind of gave them the security or the confidence to bring him in to back up Austin Corbett, if that is what they decide to do. And I guess, like I said, they didn't want to have that many guards with Zavala and Cade Mays making it. So that was a decision to go Jack Anderson. But I will say I had Jack Anderson making this group. I did. And Josh Nijman, obviously, as well, the swing tackle. That was never a question in my opinion. He was always going to make the roster, as he should. Tight ends. You want to go tight ends or you want to go receivers first? Because we got a long discourse for either one of them.
I think what I'm kind of mad about, they tie into the same thing, kind of. Because I don't understand how Jordan Matthews doesn't make the team, but you keep Ian Thomas. And I don't give a fuck if you would have had to put him under the tight ends, if you would have had to put him under the receivers. I don't give a fuck if you had to put him under running backs. He should have been on. He should have been on the team somewhere. So I just don't understand that personally.
Yeah. But. So Ian Thomas, Tommy Tremble, Jatavion Sanders are three that they decided to go with. I predicted that the Carolina Panthers would bring 3 tight ends. I thought Ian Thomas was clipped. Now, this is what I have to say about that. Now, cool. If I was on, per Tavian, I was on his dick prior, so we'll just go with that story. Right? After 4 or 5 years of watching this nigga, I, for the life of me, don't understand what the fuck value this guy adds to this tight end room so much that he's gotten a new fucking contract. And then after he got a new contract, didn't participate at all in training camp, nor did he see any reps in the preseason. And somehow he still makes it over a guy who is a veteran, who really, if you go back and watch Jordan Matthews' interview, his presser that he did in training camp, I think he only did one. Very, very well-spoken, but not only the fact that he's well-spoken, but it's about his attitude and his mentality. Like with a 2-win team, That nigga is exactly what you need in that locker room.
But wasn't they gassing Ian Thomas up at the beginning of camp? There was multiple reports that say he looked like the best player at camp.
That was pre-camp. That was two or
OTAs,
three. Yeah, that was
whatever.
OTAs. And cool.
So
and we like talking about the underwear. We like talking about the underwear Olympics. I mean, they damn near don't got nothing on out there. It might as well be the combine because they barely got fucking helmets on during OTAs.
Well,
And that's what they want to gas up. That's why let's just go look at it. Let's just go look at it because I know there's some Ian Thomas truthers out there, and to be quite
he's
frank,
sorry as hell.
for me, I don't understand, and I'm so sick and tired, bro. I'll tell you what I'm really, really sick and tired of is the fact that y'all keep hollering about this nigga being a run blocker. Like, unfortunately, if that is the position, you still hold no weight simply based on the fact that Dave Canales came out of his own mouth and said, we're not really going to be having tight ends blocking like that in this fucking scheme. So why y'all keep trying to take the approach that, Ian Thomas was going to make it regardless because he's the best run blocker we have, this and that. Bro, I'm so tired of that shit. I'm tired of hearing it. Yo, this nigga last year, 5 fucking catches, 56 yards, and excuse the profanity. I'm going to try and cut it back. I'm going to try and cut it out. 5 catches, 56 yards. 2022, 21 catches, 197 yards. 18, 188. 20, 145, 16, 136, and 36, 333. His rookie season with 2 touchdowns, and that was the last I won't even say that's productive, bro. 333 yards in a full season, and then I have to look at 136, 145, 188, 197, and fucking 56 with an injury-prone tight end that provides nothing at all in the pass game, and his only claim to fame is his ability to run block. This shit is fucking pathetic, bro. I don't know if bro seen some shit he wasn't supposed to see with Dave Tepper. I don't know what it is, but he got this organization in a chokehold, and he has them by the balls somehow, some way, and it's frustrating as hell. I ain't gonna hold you.
He doesn't even fit the mold of like what the general tight end looks like around the NFL nowadays. Like you have T.J. Hawkinson, who's a pass catching tight end. You got guys like Cole Kmet, Jake Ferguson. I mean, Travis Kelce, Dalton Schultz,
Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
I mean,
he just doesn't even fit in those conversations. So I don't even understand. Like, you can see the way the league is moving towards like being more offensive minded, heavy emphasis on the offense and the passing game specifically. And I feel like if you just don't have a tight end who can participate in that, I just don't really see the value, especially. I mean, you got Tommy Tremble. I would say he's more of a pass-catching tight end, obviously. And it's like, if you need him to run block, I mean, he can. Yeah, it's like he's
serviceable enough to do so. And we're assuming that Tommy Tremble is coming into the season tight end 1. So then you're telling me the rookie is tight end 2, who, in my opinion, I will give you that. Like, I'm cool with it. But to me, overall, Jordan Matthews was way more productive, more consistently over a more consistent period of time than Jatavion Sanders was, and then somehow, some way, fucking Ian Thomas still makes the roster. Like, that shit is weird as fuck, bro. Like, and it really has me hot. It has me tight, bro, because it's, like, frustrating as hell. Like, we'll trade and we'll deal and we'll let go of guys that really have the opportunity and the potential to develop under this new scheme and do something, like a Terrace Marshall Jr., who we'll get to in a second, because I got a lot to get off my chest on that front, too. So we'll trade or get rid of a guy like that, but then you keep a Ian Thomas that has had minimal production. And you can say that Terrace Marshall is the same way, but y'all's argument is always the fact that Terrace Marshall has been here for 4 years. Well, Ian Thomas has been here for 5, and he ain't done shit at all.
So the only thing that I'll say, I'm just going to because let me just preface this. I don't like Ian Thomas. Like, I don't like anything about the guy. I don't think he should be on an NFL roster. He needs to go play in the CFL. But that being said, when you have a guy like Jordan Matthews, a converted wide receiver who's late in his career coming into being a tight end, and he's kind of that receiving tight end, receiving threat that we were just talking about, that vertical threat of a tight end. But you just drafted a guy in the fifth round? Fourth round? Yeah, 4th round in Jatavion Sanders, who is also that vertical type of receiver who you want to see develop. So then that leaves you with, you need that blocking tight end for certain formations and run sets.
Why though?
This is just what the NFL does. I'm just telling
Why?
you, this is
Fuck
just how
the
it
NFL.
operates.
I'm telling you what our head coach said. Our head coach said our tight ends ain't gonna be doing that shit over here.
Yeah, and then your general manager said, "Fuck what you're talking about. My blocking tight end is going on the roster." So again,
Dave Tepper said that dumb shit.
So you keep the guy on the roster that can block. It doesn't really make sense though, in the sense that Tommy Tremble came out, and one of his better attributes, if you go back and look at Tommy Tremble's pre-draft eval, was blocking. So that's the only part that really confuses me, is that Tommy Tremble is a good blocker. That's kind of one of his claims to fame in the NFL. And then you go and keep a guy like Ian Thomas on the roster. But I do believe it's because of that blocking value and nothing else. Because it's definitely not because of his production or his pass catching ability. Because, how many passes did we watch him drop?
Multiple. How many games have we seen him miss due to injury? Multiple.
Yeah,
multiple.
I don't even think it was worth the risk, even if it's because of run blocking. Because there's not a lot of the times that you're going to be seeing a run get blown up because of the tight end just fucking whiffing on the block. So I don't think.
And if that's that much of a problem and a risk, then just double it.
Yeah,
just double it. Fucking double it and get them out of the way. Wash them out of the way, and the hole should be there long enough for Chuba, Miles, Jonathan, Raheem, whoever to explode through it. It's nasty. I didn't mean to cut you off. My fault.
That was all I
got
had.
Me hot,
it
bro.
just doesn't make sense. Honestly.
Shit got me hot.
Yeah.
This is completely off track, but kinda, but not really.
But my fault. In saying that though, it was just saying that Jordan Matthews didn't make this team because of JT, because that's the guy that they want to see develop as a vertical threat, and Jordan Matthews is just a little too long in the tooth.
I mean, to contradict that though, isn't that a guy that you would want to have in that roster? Because realistically, who the fuck is JT learning from? Not Tommy Tremble. The coaching staff.
Yes, that's the coach. But I'm just saying that's probably how they're looking at it. This is our job to teach him and develop him, not to have a former wide receiver come in and teach him how to play tight end. Truthfully,
but I also heard
this is a guy who's also still learning how to play tight end his damn self.
This is okay. Cool. That's fine. That's a reasonable assessment. I also heard a theory or an approach, ideology that JT Sanders was actually initially a wide receiver himself in high school. So they damn near are going through the same fucking transition. Excuse my French. They're almost going through the same transition. So it's just realistically, what are we talking about? That could be beneficial.
It definitely doesn't make sense, while we're sitting here talking about it, but I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, even though he doesn't need an advocate, and just give a different perspective on potentially why they rolled with Ian Thomas instead of Jordan Matthews, just to give the viewers something to chew on a little bit.
It was a fuck up. It was a fuck up. That's what the organization. This organization really. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. This organization, to me, really, when I look at this 53-man roster, and we'll continue because I do want to keep going. We're doing relatively well on time. But there were two mistakes that this organization has made to me. Three, because we're going to get to Terrace Marshall Jr. in a second. But the first one was obtaining DJ Wanham. That was number one. And I haven't really been as skeptical of this front office because I think that overall they've done a solid job. I love the draft class. I love the moves that were made to bring in Deontay Johnson and a couple of other, free agents, Jadeveon Clowney, things like that. So I haven't been as skeptical. But that DJ Wanham deal was a mistake. Keeping Ian Thomas over Jordan Matthews was a significant mistake, in my opinion. And then the third one was cutting Terrace Marshall Jr. So, I guess that damn near segues us perfectly into
the wide receiver room.
And actually, before we go there, the Seattle Seahawks did just release their 53-man roster. And Michael Barrett did not make the 53-man roster. If you're confused on who Michael Barrett is, Michael Barrett was the Carolina Panthers' 7th-round pick this year from Michigan. He was, to me, on the verge of being cut with the Carolina Panthers. We traded him to bring in Mike Jackson because the Seattle Seahawks were extremely deep at cornerback. They wanted to take on Michael Barrett. They did, and he did not make the roster. So
yeah, he was an undersized linebacker anyway. So it's he was going to have a hard time making a lot of NFL rosters if we're being completely honest.
I'd agree.
So I mean,
but I will commend Dan Morgan for that move. After I say they've made 3 mistakes, but that was a good one. I mean, you get value for a guy that you were going to cut, just like Dante Jackson, and now we have, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at the situation, now we have our cornerback 2 in Mike Jackson for a guy that you were going to cut, and our wide receiver 1. So, you take the good with the bad when you can. Wide receivers 7. Now, I had niggas on Twitter trying to tell me that it was more likely that we kept 5 over 7, and I tried to tell them that they were dumb. Went on the live stream. Everybody was talking about we may keep 5 wide receivers, this and that. I said, bro, I promise to God, if we keep 5 wide receivers, I will retire from creating content about this team. And like I knew, because what I know is, like, people don't be at camp, bro. People don't be at camp, so it's just like, bro, you're telling me shit because Dave Canales kept 5 last year. He did it. Bro, I don't care about none of that shit. I'm telling you right now, this room is way too deep, and that's what we see. Now, the 7 is where we have problems. The 7 is where we have problems. Adam Thielen, Deontay, Mingo, XL, lock. We knew it. Amir Smith-Marset, David Moore, and Jalen Coker are the 3 guys that round off that room.
I don't have a problem with David Moore. I'll just go ahead and put that out there.
Me either. I think that David Moore, I said this too, bro. I said this too, and niggas was slandering my name. Like, people were really on my top about some of the stuff I was saying over training camp and over the summer. But David Moore's impact was felt, bro. As soon as he came in the building, I told people last week there was a stretch of a week to a week and a half where this nigga was scoring touchdowns, sometimes multiple touchdowns, every single practice, bro. Every practice, no matter who was throwing him the ball. It could have been Andy, could have been Jack, could have been Jake when he was healthy. It was Bryce at times. Like, bro, it was just, to me, it was a lock that David Moore was going to make this roster. Now, my problem comes in because I will say I had David Moore as wide receiver 5. Just based off of production. And I had TMJ sneaking in on the back end at wide receiver 6. Now, my problem is, and why I'm confused, is I just, for the life of me, cannot understand how you keep ISM and you keep Coker. You decide that you're going to keep 7 wide receivers, but somehow, some way, Terrace Marshall Jr.'s name is not on that list. That shit is alarming to me. It's a problem. Yeah. It's a problem. This shit is not serious. It's laughable, damn near.
And I would say, for Terrace Marshall Jr., like, I'm really a fan of Terrace Marshall Jr. because I think that he's a good receiver and he has the potential to be a great receiver, but I think that this organization has handicapped that for whatever reason. I don't know what it was with Matt Rule. I don't know what it was with Frank Wright, but you could just see, like, and then we could see at training camp there were, like, some issues to where he just seemed like he didn't want to be there, was just half-assing. But I think that was at the point that he was already fed up because he's been fed up for the past 2 years. Just because they haven't been using them correctly, in my opinion. So, but I think that if you just actually watch him play receiver, like, the physical attributes, everything like that, I think that he has potential to be a really good receiver, and we just handicapped him from that. So, from Terrace Marshall's standpoint, I am happy that for him that he has a chance to go produce elsewhere. But I think from the Carolina Panthers standpoint, he's fucking better than Jalen Coker and ISM. I just think he is.
Bro. He is.
I just think he is. So I think that was really dumb to do that. But, I mean, I'm happy for Terrace Marshall. But I just think overall that was a dumbass move by the organization. And I think that if you just watch football, if you just watch the way the receivers play nowadays, if you just watch Terrace Marshall, he's an NFL receiver. Like, there's no doubt about that. And I think that he should have very much well made this roster. And I think that he will go make another roster and do great things there.
And what's really puzzling, I think he'll be a commander. I think he'll be a commander. I think the Bills are on that list as well, just from the history with him and Joe Brady being with the Panthers as well as LSU together. So I think that he'll have his options for sure. That'll be number 1. Number 2, like, it's really just puzzling, bro. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. I said on the live stream on Sunday, and I'm gonna re-emphasize it just in case you missed it. The Carolina Panthers, and I'm just going to piggyback damn near off of what you said, because I think everything you said is accurate. Carolina Panthers held Terrace Marshall Jr. back significantly throughout his whole career. throughout his whole career, bro. And this is a guy that we have spoken about on multiple occasions on this podcast. And it's kind of been an up and down relationship, I think, from a tonality standpoint of the whole cast. And I won't say we because my producer just told me to stop saying we. But I think I feel confident enough in this particular situation to say that it has been a kind of an up and down, back and forth relationship from this podcast with Terrace Marshall Jr. and kind of how we view him. That being said, the facts are the facts. So you bring in a guy, gets drafted, whatever the case may be, 4 years ago, rookie season to be expected. He does whatever he does. Now, for whatever reason, he ends up in the doghouse when he does, right? And so the Matt Rule era is just completely shot for him because now his opportunities are gone. But he gets turned up with Steve Wilks. and people will say, and I've made the same argument before, people will say that it was just a couple of catches or whatever the case may be. But that's fine and that's okay because like we've been saying throughout this whole segment, it's about the flashes. It's about the flashes. During that Steve Wilks era, Terrace Marshall Jr. had the flashes that people demanded to see from him in year 3, right? So then we go to year 4 with Frank Reich. And like I said on the live stream on Sunday, he gets his opportunity, right? Because people like painting this narrative of Terrace Marshall Jr. that he's just a camp guy and he's just a practice guy. He only does this stuff in camp. But it's just simply not true, bro. And I'm going to use the same exact example that I used Sunday night. Terrace Marshall Jr., me, you, and Five was in the building. We were fried too. I'm not going to hold you. That's neither here nor there, but we were fried. Absolutely fried.
Yeah, it was bad.
We were in the building, and we witnessed Terrace Marshall Jr. get 9 catches for whatever the amount of yards was on 11, 12 targets, right? We saw that. Y'all saw it. You can go look at the game right now, NFL Premium. You can go look at the film, whatever you want to do. But when Terrace Marshall Jr. was put in a position to be successful and to thrive, when the wide receiver room was really, really looking dark as hell, because we know how slow Jonathan Mingo started, and we know how that season ended in totality for him, right? We know how slow. We know that Adam Thielen was damn near the only weapon that Bryce Young had. We know that Tommy Tremble really didn't develop. Hayden Hurst didn't do what he really needed to do. We know, like, the weapons just simply weren't there, right? So then you put a guy in a position to be successful, to take a step forward in his career, to progress your offense, which he grabs a hold of the opportunity and does it. And then the following fucking week, he's a healthy scratch. And then after that, for the rest of the fucking year, he only gets 11 or 12 more targets. And not only was he a healthy scratch the following week, when Frank Reich was asked about it, and this is a aspect of this whole situation that I completely forgot about. But when Frank Reich was asked about the situation and why Terrace Marshall Jr. was a healthy scratch, Frank Reich came out of his own fucking old-ass mouth and said Terrace Marshall Jr. should have been on the field, and he should have been getting opportunities, and that's on me as a coach.
Yeah, that was nasty. That made no fucking sense. That's when I knew that Frank Reich shouldn't be a head coach.
Now, and so with just me painting that picture right there, right, there's no way that you can tell me that this guy got a fair shot with the Carolina Panthers. And oftentimes when I talk about this situation, whether it be on this platform, Move the Chains, other people's podcasts, live streams, whatever the case may be, I always say I would love for people to just use the same amount of grace that was given to Bryce Young in his situation last year and just give 10% or 20% to Terrace Marshall Jr. because his situation to me is no different. It's no different. When he had the opportunity to be successful, he was successful. And I say we can go look at Bryce Young in the Green Bay Packers game. When he had the opportunity to be successful, we saw what he was able to do. He dropped his nuts. Did we lose that game? Absolutely. But is that by far the best version of Bryce Young we've ever seen? Absolutely. I could go pinpoint another specific moment. If you look at the last drive for the Houston Texans, that's damn near the best the offensive line has looked, that was the best that the offensive line had looked for the duration of the season up to that point. The weapons stood up. and took ownership in their fucking role. We look at Chuba Hubbard getting multiple catches on that drop. So when the opportunity was there for them to be successful, they were successful. And I'll rewind back and say, when Terrace Marshall got the opportunity to be successful and was given a fucking serviceable enough of amount of reps with 9, 10, 11, 12 targets, he was successful. He came up and he made the plays. He changed the dynamic of that game early. I'm not going to hold you. If you go back and look at it, he had the stadium rocking. He had the stadium rocking, and we thought we had found something. And then for us to turn around and not put him back on the field the following week, and then you fast forward to training camp the following year, and you tell me that Jalen Coker, who was a guy that didn't even play FBS football, and I'm not saying that that niggas can't be successful if that's their situation. Don't get my words misconstrued. But you're telling me a guy like that is going to make it over Terrace Marshall Jr., who has shown flashes throughout multiple seasons. It's very, 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 very weird and strange. And I understand the fascination with Jalen Coker. I don't, but I do. Because I understand this fan base. Y'all like feel-good stories and feel-good shit. It's never really about the talent, right? It's never really, really, really about the talent. Y'all like niggas that y'all can sit back and coddle them and rub them on their thigh and rub them on their fucking dick if you want to, and make them feel good about themselves. But when it comes to the reality of the situation, like, is this nigga gonna produce? No, he's not. Unfortunately, I believe that Jalen Coker is gonna be fucking placed on practice squad, and he's gonna be doing nothing. Cool. He'll go develop. And I know it's because Steve Smith gave the stamp. But unfortunately, nigga, Steve Smith ain't God. And I love Steve Smith. He's my number one. He's my number one all time. So don't try and slander me for that neither. But that shit is just weird as hell to me, bro.
But you can't say that Panthers fans and the fan base likes feel-good stories and then simultaneously say, like, that's why they chose Coker over Marshall when if Terrace Marshall Jr. could have gotten
it's not the same.
If Terrace Marshall Jr. could have gotten his stuff together this season, that would have been a field goal story because you have a guy who was drafted pretty high overall. Was he a third-round pick?
Second. It's not the same.
I mean, you got a guy who was drafted high who has been, like, given the shit end of the stick every single turn with every coaching staff that has walked through the door so far. And now finally when the offensive line gets a little bit better, when you have additional receivers in the room to maybe alleviate some of that pressure off of him, this could have been a TMJ redemption year. And, you know, I bet against TMJ last year when I made my bet with you. This year, when I made a bet with you, I bet with TMJ. This could have been an opportunity for a TMJ redemption story, and unfortunately, we just won't get to see that in Carolina. But I do hope that TMJ goes on and shits on whoever. I hope he goes to a team that plays the Panthers.
Yeah, I hope he goes to Washington this season.
You know where I hope he go.
To go see Pat.
Go play with Pat.
And this is why I said, because I want to go back to what you were saying, that I can't say that simultaneously. I can. Because the thing about this fan base also is that when you're fried, it's a wrap. Same thing with Ian Thomas. Like, I would say 97% of the fan base hates the Ian Thomas move. I would say that. Right? So Terrace Marshall Jr., unfortunately, with him being this camp player and going crazy in camp for multiple seasons and then not producing what we expect him to, he became fried. And then when he requested the trade last year, it was over with. So it's not the same because it's not the same type feel-good story, nigga. It's not. We got one guy that went to FCS school in Holy Cross that only thing he had was the plug from Steve Smith and you know, now all of a sudden he makes a 53-man roster. And to be honest, let me say this too. Because at the beginning of camp, I was all for it. And what? Because I went in camp and I told both of y'all, look, both of y'all were all.
Well, even the day we went, he cooked somebody the first day we were there.
I told y'all, just watch his releases. Watch the way he runs route. And I get it. I understand. I'm not saying he's a terrible receiver. I'm just saying that he just can't produce the way I believe Terrace Marshall Jr. would have produced this season.
So do you think that means that ISM would have had to have been the odd man out?
Absolutely.
That's who it should have been?
To me, yes. To me, ISM should have been fine, especially when he got hurt. And niggas kept trying to tell me about all of this, all of the special teams ability he got, but then they decided to keep David Moore too. Because David Moore is going to be a guy to me that, yes, he'll be able to provide something in the pass game, but a bulk of what he's going to be able to provide is going to come from special teams, bro. Like, that's just simply going to be the case. So for you to keep ISM and David Moore and you still went on to keep Raheem Blackshear, and somehow TMJ still gets fried, the shit is weird as hell, bro. It is. There's simply no way that the Carolina Panthers kept 7 receivers and Terrace Marshall Jr. wasn't one of those 7. I'll say all of that to wrap up there.
Well, I guess that's a good segue into the running back room where they kept ISM.
ISM is a receiver, bro.
Raheem Blackshear.
I mean, sorry, Raheem.
Blackshear.
My fault. We keep saying the
The
name.
only reason they kept him
Raheem.
is because fucking
Jonathan Brooks is down.
Yeah.
Because he should have been clipped.
Raheem should. Another
Because
weird situation.
what did he do that showed me why he couldn't play in preseason? Unless he was hurt.
He has to be hurt, bro. And it's still it's a very, very weird situation. Still something we have no clarity on at all. Because I don't understand why, honestly, if Raheem Blackshear is hurt, I don't know why you keep him as running back 3, only because Jonathan Brooks is injured as well, when you have Mike Boone, who you were giving 20 fucking carries a game to, and he was producing at a high level. There are definitely a couple of question marks, bro. And I'm a Blackshear fan. Everybody in this room will tell you. I'm a Blackshear fan. Die hard.
I'll co-sign.
For sure. I'm a die-hard fan. I love what he can do in the kickoff game. Love what he can do in the running game as well. I think he has had minimal opportunities in the running game, and I think every opportunity he gets, he produces, in my opinion. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it because if that's the case, then I need to know why the fuck he hasn't been practicing. And I got to start using so much profanity. My apologies. I need to know why he hasn't been practicing. I need to know why his running back reps just went completely out of the window. I need to know why you brought in Dylan Johnson, cut him, and then brought Sheridan back, and Blackshear still wasn't getting reps at running back. And I need to know why he wasn't taking fucking kickoff return reps either. I need to know all of these things, bro, because this to me doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at that point because I am only right in assuming, I only have the right to assume that Raheem Blackshear is injured, right? If you see a guy that's been getting reps the first week to week and a half of camp, and then he no longer is getting reps at any position, he's inactive during every preseason game, yet he still makes the roster, I can only assume that he's injured. And if that's the case, I don't know why. If that's the case, I don't know why you would keep him as running back 3 when you're only going to keep 3 running backs and you know Jonathan Brooks is going to come back in 4 weeks when you have Mike Boone who was producing the whole time.
You know, I honestly think that might be just a ploy on the behalf of, like, NFL front offices with, like, certain guys that they know they want to keep and they want to protect them from media scrutiny. That they know, like, certain guys that should probably not make the roster, but they're going to keep anyway because it's their guys. Like, I feel like they do a good job of hiding them from the public eye and protecting them from that scrutiny because I think I saw a lot of that happen this offseason in Dallas and the fact that they hid Zeke. Every reporter that was at camp said that they never saw Zeke take any reps because they did such a good job of hiding him. We didn't see Jalen Tolbert take any reps in the preseason, which is kind of weird for a guy who was a fringe roster player, but they've been hyping him up all off season. Like, I think there's certain guys that front offices are, like, all the way bought in on, and they like to hide them from from the public eye for the purposes of being able to stash them on the roster with no say about it.
But if you're not going to cut that guy and try and put him on practice squad, then what's the purpose of hiding him?
No, not even that. It's like for the purposes of saying, like, when the media gets a hold of that footage or, like, sees the guy to be like, come on to platforms like this and be like, yeah, that guy's chopped. He needs to be cut, gone, out the door. You save him from that scrutiny because there is a certain amount of public of pressure that the media can put onto front offices to get rid of certain guys or to pay certain guys or to, we've seen this play out. So I think I think it's that type of deal. Like Raheem is one of Ian Thomas, Raheem. These are guys who are like organizational guys. Like these are the Panthers dudes, and they're trying to protect them from that. There could be injury. There could be injury as well, but I'd lean more towards like we know he's going to be on the roster, and we don't need to see more from him. Move on.
I don't hate it. You have anything to add on the running back room?
Nah, I mean, I said what I had to say.
Yeah.
Raheem should have been clipped.
Fair enough, because you were very high on Mike Boone.
Yeah,
I know. I saw the text message you sent yesterday, too.
Yeah, sure. And I think based off of the game in the preseason that he's had and the training camp that he's had, from what I've seen, that he should have made the roster over Raheem Blackshear when I only seen Raheem Blackshear run one run in training camp. But he broke it for a touchdown, But at the same time, it's like you don't have those runs very often throughout the season, but you do have those nasty, gritty, downhill runs that Mike Boone provides.
But I keep telling y'all, like, I think there's another aspect to this roster cut down that we're missing. It's in that special teams, just because we still don't fully understand this new special teams system and this new special teams format. And I think the NFL coaches are like, and front offices are still kind of experimenting with personnel and ideals on how to, where to stash extra guys, because what kind of are you looking to do with this new special teams format? I think that's where a lot of these questionable decisions are kind of being made.
Even if that's true, like, even if that theory is true, it's like the guys that you do want to, or where you do want to stash the guys to keep for special teams, at least show us what they can fucking do in a special team situation. But it's like, if you're not even showing us that, then it's like, what's the point?
Well, have we really seen anything from special teams yet? It's like all the coaches are kind of holding their cards close to their chest right now because the season hasn't kicked off. You don't want to give away your whole, your whole scheme just yet, but they probably have in their mind a play where, the ball gets kicked off to a Raheem, and then you have ISM run behind him.
That's not going to happen too often.
So-and-so run behind them. You got like a triple option.
That shit is going to happen that shit is going to happen so rare because the couple times they try it, somebody going to end up getting fucking stretched or somebody going to dick their hand off, and then it's going to be done. So that play is only going to happen a few times throughout the season, but it ain't going to be nothing crazy.
Yeah. I'm just grasping at straws here, trying to rationalize why some of these horrible roster moves were made.
Yeah. And listen, kind of in wrapping here because, quarterbacks we don't really have to talk about.
Bye, Jake.
Jack.
Don't care.
I think he's coming back. I think he's coming back on practice squad. And honestly, I was very, 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 very tough on Jack Plummer the preseason game 1. But I will say his development from preseason game 1 to preseason game 3, insane. Not gonna hold you like that. Like he looked like he could be a backup quarterback in the NFL preseason game 3. I'm not gonna hold you. I think that he needs to come back on the practice squad because God forbid something freaky happens with Bryce, and he's out for an extended period of time. And we got Andy. I'm comfortable with Jack being the backup quarterback in that situation. I am.
Okay, I'm glad you clarified that because I thought you were going to say that you were comfortable with Jack stepping in to fill for Bryce.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm just glad that that's not where you went with that.
Yeah, no, he was quarterback 3. He is quarterback 3. He's a practice squad guy, in my opinion. Yep. I think he'll clear waivers, and I think the Carolina Panthers will be able to get him back. And I think they should. I think they should for sure. And Dave Canales seems to love him. Dave Canales seems to love him for whatever reason. So, I think that, that's possible. That's possible for sure.
Wow. Because he's not even.
Yeah. What? He is, though. Oh, no, he's not. You're right.
Yeah.
Is he not?
Hey, Jack is. Dave ain't.
Oh, well, is he not?
He's not. Wow. No, he's not.
What is he?
Hispanic. Yeah, he's Hispanic.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Nah, for real. But yeah, so that's what we have on the 53. I will say, we'll come in here next week and we'll update things because I know that this roster may not look the same next week that it looks right now. I think that there are a couple of guys like Jalen Coker, like LeBravion Ryan, whatever the dude's name is, like Bro, the other D tackle. Going blank, I don't know why, but I think there are a couple of guys that will be used for waiver claims, and then at that point, then maybe the Carolina Panthers will try and stash them or whatever the case may be on the practice squad. But if they try that with Coker, I think they may be fried, and I understand the position on that front as well. You don't want to try and cut a guy like Coker and then stash him on the practice squad because you believe that other teams will take him just based off of where you have his evaluation. But I don't know. Because if you have a cornerback that's on the wire that you think can potentially make something pop, if you have another outside linebacker, another pass rusher, I'm not going to hold you. There got to be some sacrifice somewhere. Not going to hold you. What? What do you want me to say? How do we do?
As far as what?
In general.
Man, I think it was good. I mean, I'm just ready for the season to start, bro. I mean, to me, the roster looks kind of nasty, but I mean, that's my opinion. I'm just ready for the season to start. Maybe they can prove me wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, y'all know what it is. We're looking for improvement this season. We're not looking for too much more than that. We're just looking to see development in some key areas and then kind of retool next offseason with the draft and the preseason. Well,
I'm looking for
the realistic fans are looking for more development.
I'm looking forward to
you
week
can be competitive
18.
and develop.
I'm
That's
looking
fine.
forward to week 18. We're playing for a divisional title in Atlanta against Atlanta.
I think
That's what I'm looking for.
week 18, you're probably playing spoiler for Atlanta to
Don't
keep them
start
out
drinking
of
the Kool-Aid again, bro.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's how you get gassed up. It's how you get gassed up.
I'm chilling.
And God forbid they come out and go 2-0.
Who's that?
The Panthers. God, get ready to. Oh
No,
my
God forbid if we go 3-0, because that schedule looks very 3-0-ish.
It does, but it's very possible to go 0-3 knowing
It
this
is.
organization.
No, it is. It definitely is. But God forbid we go 3-0, because we'll just pull it up just real quick and then we're gone. You want me to tell you who the Falcons have? Their first 5 games, it's brutal.
Are the Bucks and Saints not in the division anymore?
They're ass. They put no fear in my heart. First 3 weeks for the Atlanta Falcons, Steelers, Eagles, Chiefs. So cool.
That's looking very 0-3-ish.
Yeah,
It's
that
looking
whole
very 0-3-ish.
that whole Atlanta being Super Bowl contenders conversation will die.
Well, that's because Dan
very quick.
Orlovsky is just a fucking jackass.
He is.
That was about to be our
He
head
is.
coach.
Huh?
That was about to be our head coach.
There's no way.
Do your research. Do your research. He came in the room. He came in the building and interviewed for that position.
You never wanted this like I did.
The fact that it never made it out that
You
room
never really had
is,
no
I think,
idea.
very telling of how he did.
It made it out.
It
It made it out. Well, look at it. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure to enter the autograph football giveaway right now. If you watch the whole episode, appreciate y'all for being here. If you didn't, you wouldn't even get to this point. So fuck you. Or that's not what I should say. We'll be back next week. We'll have an official schedule prediction, as well as our way too early team awards. So make sure to tune in, turn that bell notification on.
MVB9.